Thank you so much for tuning into this webinar and thanks for your time. This is Aravindan. I am from the marketing team of Zoho Campaigns and I am your host for today. Joining me alongside is my colleague Uma Shankar from the support team. And like mentioned before, he will be able to take up your questions right from the get-go. And after the end of the presentation, when I complete my bit, there is going to be a dedicated Q&A session to answer all your questions thoroughly. And today's topic, as you may already know, is going to be about the latest integration update to the Zoho Campaigns and Zoho CRM setup. This was rolled out on December 1, and we are going to tell you how it helps you improve your email marketing. And this is the agenda that we have got for today. First, I'll be talking about why this revamp was needed, why the new setup has been introduced. And secondly, I'll be talking about the working patterns of the new version, how you could leverage them. And third, I'll be talking about how you could stay migration ready, how you could transition to a new version in a hassle-free manner. Okay, in the current system that you are using, there are two types of syncs. You connect your Zoho Campaigns account with Zoho CRM, and you use two types of syncs to import your data from Zoho CRM. One is instant, which is instantaneous, and the second one is periodic. Using the instant sync option, you will be able to sync your leads, contacts, and other custom modules that are created by you inside your CRM setup. And using the periodic sync option, you might be currently syncing your leads, contacts, your custom modules, and your accounts and deals. This is the current scheme of things, which you might already know as you are using the integration. This current setup that we have discussed just now has some challenges to it in terms of the user experience, and that is why we are introducing the new version. Let us discuss what those challenges are. There is a predefined limit as to the number of things you can create and manage per individual module, and the number of things you can create in the entirety across the organization, and also the number of things that you could keep active at a given time. There are several restrictions there, and like I mentioned before, your accounts and deals can be synced into Zoho Campaigns only through the periodic sync. Periodic sync, as you may already know, works on a weekly, daily, and monthly basis, which means that you have to get past that buffer time to initiate the sync. And also with the deals module, only the latest deal can be synced into Zoho Campaigns. Not every deal associated to a contact or an account can be synced. And also, when there is a field update that is happening inside Zoho CRM, it takes some time to get reflected inside Zoho Campaigns. This means that you could be at times engaging with irrelevant contacts inside Zoho Campaigns, that you might be sending out email campaigns to the irrelevant audience at times. And these are the changes, these are the challenges which propelled us towards releasing a new version that helps you manage your email marketing in a more hassle-free and smooth manner. And in the new version, you don't have to create multiple things across multiple modules. We are making it a one-size-fits-all solution. You just have to initiate one sync per module: leads, your contacts, and your custom module. All the records inside your Zoho CRM within the respective module will be imported into Zoho Campaigns. Now, this begs the question, should I be paying for all the contacts that I am importing into Zoho Campaigns? The answer is a resounding no, because we have a provision which helps you to mark your records that you're going to bring into Zoho Campaigns as marketing and non-marketing. You will be paying only for the contacts that you mark as marketing, which means that you are only going to engage with those via email marketing. Now, let us see how the new version works in practice and how you could demarcate your records. Records who are going to be labeled as contacts inside Zoho campaigns as marketing and non-marketing. Let us have a complete walkthrough. All the action with regards to Zoho Campaigns-Zoho CRM integration unfolds from this tab, the Contacts tab. You go to the Sync Services. Yeah, so I already have connected my Zoho CRM test account with my Zoho Campaigns test account, and this is I am sure that you would be familiar with this UI of the product. So now let me create a sync from scratch and show how this new configuration works in practice. So I have already synced my leads and contacts module. So I am left with the custom modules that I have created within my Zoho CRM setup. So I'm choosing one here. And this is the provision that I was talking about. Since you might be having plenty of records within Zoho CRM, the recommended step is to mark them as non-marketing first, bring them inside Zoho campaigns, and manage the subscription type there, which we'll be discussing at greater length during the final segment. And if you feel that you already have control over your data within Zoho CRM, you already know you already know what you exactly want to get from them. And if you're very clear with that part, you can directly mark them as marketing and get started instantly. And these are the other two options which I would like to touch upon here. You might be already familiar with it, but let me just once again give a brief summary. So by enabling this option, I'm defining the system to exclude contacts, those who have opted out from sales email inside Zoho CRM. So I am defining the system to not import them into Zoho campaigns. And this is a similar sort of definition. By enabling this, I am telling the system that when someone comes into Zoho campaigns and in the future, if that person opts out of sales email within Zoho CRM, remove them from here. I'm just setting the definitions. So this is how I would go about the first step. And then comes the field mapping part of it. So you just map the fields that you have inside Zoho CRM with those in Zoho campaigns. The step you see here, the map new field step you see here, has a greater significance in terms of managing the subscription of the records that you are going to bring into Zoho campaigns. I will be talking about this a bit later. I don't want to offer too much information that because I feel it might be too overwhelming for you to process them. So let me talk about that in a bit. Once you're done with the field mapping, you can initiate the sync like you would always do. You can see the history of the sync here and the summary of the fields that have been mapped, and you can edit them at any time. And by going to the setup option here, the universal setup option, you can define how Zoho campaigns should push the information, the unsubscription information of your contacts to Zoho CRM. As you engage with your contacts via email marketing, chances are that some might unsubscribe from your emails. So when that happens, how should that data be transported to Zoho CRM is what we are defining here. And we have also introduced a new option here to based on the popular request of the users. That is, when someone opts out from the marketing emails inside Zoho CRM, you now have the option to push the information, push the status of them into a custom field of Zoho CRM. Earlier, it was only the email opt-out field. Now you can push that into a field that you customize according to your own convenience, or you could go ahead with this default option, which is the email opt-out field. So this is how I would configure a sync in the new setup. Now let me explain how to go about demarcating the records that you are bringing in from Zoho CRM as marketing and non-marketing within Zoho campaigns and manage the subscription. For that, I will have to create another sync. Let me initiate that. You can demarcate them. The provision that I was referring to works in two ways. One is the regular criteria based option, which I will be showing you. The other one is the combination of segments and workflow. I will explain both. You choose which works the best for you, and from there you can start using that. So I'm initiating a sync again, choosing them as non-marketing. Now comes the crucial part that I want to shed light on. In the current setup, if you are if you are creating a sync, or if you already have a predefined condition that exists in Zoho CRM, you would be creating a custom view there using the filter option that you see inside Zoho CRM, and you import that custom view inside Zoho Campaigns, right? This is how you would be practicing in the current version. But in the new version that's been released, this option has been disabled. You cannot sync the custom view. The reason being, when a record exits from the custom view or the criteria based view that you have created within Zoho CRM, the same is not reflected inside Zoho campaigns, which means that again you could be engaging with the irrelevant person or the irrelevant set of contacts. So in order to avoid that, we have nullified that option, but the essence of it, the very essence of it, still works in a different way, in a slightly different way. And the essence the essence that I'm referring to is the same thing, which is going to help you demarcate your contacts as marketing and non-marketing. Okay. So to be able to create a custom view inside Zoho CRM, you would have that differentiator. You would have that vital information resting within a field, right? So the same concept is going to be applied here. You leverage that field, the data that you have inside that field, and use that to manage your subscription contacts subscription within Zoho campaigns. If I know what that field is, what that ultimate differentiator is, I will be selecting that here. Let's say that this is the field. Okay, I don't have anything configured there inside Zoho CRM, so I'm just assuming that this is the field, just to explain how it works in practice. And you mark this as a new field inside Zoho campaigns. Once you do that, this field becomes a part of the predefined fields that exist within Zoho campaigns. And this field will be used across a couple of crucial places that I'm going to show, which in turn helps you manage the subscription. Remember, you have a field inside Zoho CRM that helps you differentiate between your email marketing eligible and non-email marketing eligible contacts. You have that in your mind. You come back to Zoho campaigns, you choose that field, you create the sync, you choose that field, and you define that as a new field inside Zoho campaigns. It becomes a predefined field after then. And this is how I initiate the sync. Like I mentioned before, these are the two ways. One is using the regular criteria in the universal view of your contacts within Zoho campaigns. And the second one is using the combination of segments and workflow. Let's see how it works. First, I'm going to the regular criteria option. For this, I'm going to the global view of all the contacts present in my system. So remember, I have marked my contacts as non-marketing. So I have to choose this view to have the list of all the non-marketing contacts that I have. And I already know that I have a field which contains the crucial information. So let's say that this is that field. Let's assume. So I go to this filter option and I enter the criteria that I have. So I'm just entering a simple one here. You go about this based on the scenarios that you have. So the applied criteria would show me the list of contacts who match that. I will choose the contacts and I will change the subscription type here. I marked them as non-marketing, came back to the all contacts view, applied the filter using the field and the value that I know and the field that I mapped inside Zoho campaigns in the previous step. Come back here and complete the rest. So once I choose as marketing, the subscription type will be changed. Now, this is one way. The other way to do this is using the combination of segments and workflow. Now, let's take a look at that. I'm creating a segment here. So the criteria that you created there is used here as well, but in a slightly advanced manner. So the field which we mapped here would be visible here as well. Let's say that let's assume that this is the field. By creating this, I'm segmenting the contacts that I want to engage with via email marketing. So the segment has been created here. Now I just have to head over to the workflows option that I have. Create a workflow. And inside this workflow interface, I will be completing the step within using just two components. It's not going to be tedious at all. I have already created a segment, so I'm leveraging that here. So this is the trigger that starts the workflow. So when someone is part of a segment which I created, or when someone who is eligible to meet the criteria within the segment joins the segment, I will be changing the subscription type. This is how I do that. There is a component called subscription management under the productivity tab. So I define that here. I choose the segment which I want to associate with the workflow, and I define the conditions here. The conditions are existing contacts who are part of the chosen segment and contacts who will join the segment in the future have to be managed. The subscription has to be managed. This is the idea. And the next one is only the contacts who will join in the future in the chosen segment and the existing contacts alone. So I'm going with this first option, which means that both the existing and the future contacts from of the defined segment will be eligible to enter the workflow. So I go to this component and define the marketing topic that I want to engage with them. So I already have created several topics within my account, campaigns account, and I'm choosing updates here. So what this means is automatically the subscription type for the contacts entering the workflow will be changed to marketing, and they will be considered under the topic that I map. And we also have other options to work this the opposite way, the reverse direction. Like you might want to convert certain marketing contacts into non-marketing based on different scenarios. So the provision has been provided there as well. You can mark them as non-marketing and you can remove the subscription, and you can unsubscribe them from all the topics. That's it. I can activate, and I can rest assured that the subscription will be managed. If you still feel that you have some questions as you reflect on the session that we had right now, you can either write to me at aravindan.s@zohocorp.com, or you can reach to our support team anytime using the handle support@zohocampaigns.com, and we'll be able to answer all the questions. And like I mentioned before, the recording of this session will be sent to you via email in a much more polished manner for your easy and future reference. So that's about it, I guess. Uma?
Yes, Arvind. I think everyone, I think there are no more questions.
Cool. Okay, then. So thank you so much for joining this, and I hope that you had some good time here, and we hope that you had a lot of takeaways from this. So until next time, it's goodbye from me, Arvindan, and Uma Shankar from the support team. Thank you so much.
Yeah.